Wonder if every child in the project feel like me.
Tell us a little bit about K.G. Wilson, because, well, first of all, do you look at yourself as a street preacher, or a community organizer, or a community activist, or a community politician? You know, if you had to put a label on yourself, what would it be?
Actually, would be Minister of Hope.
Minister of Hope.
Street ministry. I wouldn't label myself as being a pastor or something like that from a particular church or religious denomination. Just a highly spiritual man who just believes in working for God and just the saving of lives and the transforming the lives of our people and bringing a message of hope to the hopeless that are in our communities, which, you know, the north and south side neighborhoods that are not neighborhoods anymore, that become hoods because we're not neighbors anymore. And therefore just coming to those that, you know, you have a lot of people who don't go to churches or they don't go to the mosque, so they don't have any spiritual teachings or someone coming to them to kind of help them fix the spiritual man, the spiritual woman, so they will be strong enough to deal with some of the things that we have to deal with in life that can't be fixed in the natural, that can only be fixed in the spiritual. And so I just look at me as being a servant of God, that he turned my life around once in my life, and I'm just going back to get the lost and the hopeless and give them a message of hope. And so
I was just going to say, I hear you talking about the young men, and I know they're dying out there, but there's also a little young girl that you were telling me about that was feeling, oh, your daughter.
Yeah.
Maybe we could see a little clip of her,
Yeah.
if that's possible, kind of find out what it's all about.
I wanted to leave her with something that she could pass on from generation to generation. And I started the Hope Ministries, and then teamed up with Sherez Jones Foundation. My daughter saw what I was doing, and she was moved by what she saw and said, "Dad, that's exactly what I want to do too."
It makes me feel good because I can help people in the community.
She's a brave little girl. She's my baby. I guess it's like me and her so much alike. I'm still like a big baby, but when it comes to community activism and helping people, I'm a strong, powerful soldier, and that's what you're seeing in this little child here.
Probably Sherez is looking down from heaven, saying what a great job I'm doing.
If you don't mind, I just want to say to the family, rest in peace for Delwyn Lil D. Cooper, who was murdered in South Minneapolis in cold blood. We will be doing his funeral this Saturday at Reverend McAfee's church. Young man, 35 years old, and you know, another thing, good friend of mine, I was about to become his mentor, and it's crazy because most of the people that I do vigils for, the homicide vigils before, I've already went to them and talked to them and asked them, what are you going to do to keep me from having to do this for you? That's happened numerous of times. And so like I was answering your question is, I'm really not offering them a job or anything or nothing like this. I'm trying to change the mindset, because if you give a gang member a job, making money, that gang member don't know what to do with money but to buy more drugs or buy more guns. You understand me? And so what happens with in this situation is the only thing you can do is give them the message of life. I'm coming to bring you a message of hope because you're living a hopeless state of life, and I can see the life you're living. I give you just a little bit of time. I'll be doing your vigil sooner than you think. And so my message to them is a message of life, change. Here is a school. Yeah, here there is a possibility that you may be able to get a job, but first they have to be transformed by the renewing of their minds, just like me. So when I come to them, I'm not coming to them like I'm perfect or I've never done anything. I'm letting them know what happened for me and what can happen for you. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. But the sad part is that we're going to lose some. I'm not somebody who's coming out here that's thinking I'm going to save everybody. My job is to save some.
Okay, but now, you know, statistics show that there are more young young African American males between the age of 17 and 34 in prison than in college. So how do you encourage these young people, even if they're not gang banging, even if they're not selling drugs, but they're good boys, and they're just hanging out? So how do you encourage those people to move forward according to your background?
What I do is I just actually try to let them know that because I made some mistakes in the past that I see them are making right now, there's some things that I won't be able to do. You know, as far as the system, our youth or our kids getting in trouble and getting these felonies, there's certain jobs they'll never be able to get.
But you know, that's a setup. That's a setup.
Yes, sir.
The establishment, I
Yes,
would
sir.
call it, they got our young black males already set up.
Yes, sir.
You see, when a black baby is born, there's nothing in place for him.
Yes, sir.
The only thing that's in place for him is to suck air and try to survive.
That's exactly what you told them.
Yeah.
I tell them that this, you have been set up. It is a setup, and it's designed for you to not be able to compete in the political realm or anything like that. And so if you don't listen to brothers like yourself, Minister, or what I'm trying to give them the same particular message, this is your outcome: jails, institutions, and death.
Yep.
You understand me? They make more money off of you in prison than you are out here on the streets.
That I agree.
Did you know what the largest, you know what is supporting this American economy? This American economy is black and white. Did you know that? It is. It's supported by cocaine and oil.
That's what I heard.
When your government goes to Afghanistan, that's not to protect the people, that's to protect the government. Because the government, the major crop is cocaine, is the poppy. It's legal there. You know, and it's got to get back here before it can get processed and put into your boy's hands so he can sell one on the street, and so her brother can come and arrest him, put him in. See, and so that's job security for everybody from the cop all the way up to the prison guard. That's job security.
But is
That's
that why they're shooting each other?
Okay.
For the cocaine, for the money?
Because they want the money. They want the money, and you have to promote fear in a community to have that drug turf. If you want all the money for yourself in this turf, you can't let somebody come in and sell drugs too, because then you won't get money. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where the guns come in at. We got to shoot, so if people know in the community that, hey, don't come over here or you get shot.
Oh.
You know, whether it's a little kid or not. That's the biggest way to send a message of fear, is to kill a kid.
Yeah, and if you notice too, these black boys on the corner that you out there talking to, they don't go over to Afghanistan and get cocaine. That's brought here and dumped on them. They don't go to Israel and buy those automatic weapons. You know, those are being brought in here through higher powers and being dumped on, being made available to them so that they can kill each other. And the way to stop a tree from reproducing is what? Kill the root.
That's right.
And each of these black boys, they're boys, so they have seeds.
Can I say something real quick to what you said? Because I need to fix that point. Where you talked about how the drug dealers and gang members won't go over to Afghanistan. Guess what? Let's take it a little closer. The gang members or drug dealers in North Minneapolis, South Minneapolis, you would never see them in Edina.
Right.
They will not be in Edina. You follow me? Now, but you will see them there, because why they're not in Edina? Because drug dealers and gang members only hang out in the hood, not in neighborhoods.
You're holding something in your hand. Something's going to be happening tomorrow. Tell us what that's about.
Okay, in St. Paul, at the Jimmy Lee Center on the corner of Lexington and Marshall in St. Paul, Minnesota, the AAC presents Stop the KKK, meaning kids killing kids. I'll be the keynote speaker there. There'll be another speaker there by the name of the Black Pearl, Antonio Muhammad from the Nation of Islam, and the anointed brother Sammy C. from St. Paul also. and we will be talking about the different issues that are going on in our community as far as
And what time is this going to be?
This will be at 4 to 6 p.m.